In a far-off kingdom, a rotten king reigned supreme. He was known to frequently decide he had been slighted and place people in prison to be punished or worse. The king unexpectedly ordered particularly complicated feast from his chef, Arthur, in the middle of the night. The chef and the kitchen staff worked frantically, as tired as they were in the middle of the night, to try to create a culinary masterpiece. The feast was a triumph, and the king later sent word to see if he may speak with the chef. Word arrived very early in the morning. The king would be to visit the kitchens within the hour. The kitchen staff readied themselves for the visit. The king arrived with his guards and quietly toured the kitchens as he thoroughly inspected many things. Nothing was said, however. The king looked at his guards as he approached the exit and nodded. The king's guards proceeded to destroy the kitchen's pots and pans and kitchen tools. The guards turned to the chef and said, "The king would like you to know he is displeased with last night's feast. He forgot to serve sea salt instead of salt with his meal." The chef was aghast. He knew he had served sea salt. He had prepared it himself. He only said "aye" before he was cut off and told he was to be removed from the king's staff and to be placed in the prisons to await his punishment. The king felt assured mistakes would no longer be made in his kitchen, and as a test, a few weeks later, he had a brand new feast prepared for the opening of the king's tournament, at the end of which a victorious knight would stand remaining. The king was so unhappy he was slighted again, and his favorite didn't win the competition, that he rushed the entrant who was left, dagger in hand. The entrant flicked away the dagger and gave the king what was intended for the entrant. The king, now removed from life and power, the entrant made their way to the throne and was seated. The shocked crowd dropped the facade of reverence for the old rotten king and warmly cheered a new powerful leader. The guards, also shocked, but no longer hiding their contempt for the rotten king, said, "All hail the new king," to which the entrant removed the helmet and said, "Queen." "All hail the new queen," said the guards. "What would you have us do, your majesty?" they asked. "Firstly, bring me Arthur, the chef from the prisons." Arthur approached the new queen and quietly asked, "Daughter, what has happened? And are those my pots and pans you are wearing?" "There's time to explain it all," she said. "They sent them to me at the blacksmith shop for repair. They didn't know I was your daughter." She smiled pleasantly at her father as they waved toward the crowd over the tournament field and the cold dead body of the former king. She turned to him and she said, "Father, you always said your pots and pans would bring us good fortune. You just didn't know how right you were."
Oh, that's a great story.
Good on her.
Brilliant.
That king did that. He sounds horrible.
Any questions at all?
Yeah. Was she a kind ruler? Be better than the other king?
Very much so. Well, the kingdom lived in peace and harmony there forward.
Oh, that's great. That's always good to know.
Yeah, good
Have
on
you
her.
got any blueprints for that armor?
Oh, no, we don't. You're welcome to study it if you like and try to figure out how things are put together. We're not really sure ourselves. It arrived as she had intended to put it together.
That's so cool.
But it wasn't that comfortable though.
Yeah, I was thinking I don't know if I could find some stuff in my size for that.
I might come back later and study it once I've got a bit more training.
Oh, sure. You're very welcome to.